Hello, I'm Dr. Andrew J. Allen, Associate Professor of Saxophone at Georgia College and State University. And in this video, I'll be performing and discussing 2024-2025 Georgia All-State Symphonic Band Audition Etudes for alto saxophone. That was the lyrical etude. Now, as in any lyrical etude, you need to think about beautiful tone. You need to think about vibrato where appropriate. You need to think about dynamics. You need to think about phrasing, shaping. All of these are vitally important. I will counsel you, if you're a little unsure about any of those things, or like all of us, you just want to improve, go look into the videos on my YouTube channel, and there'll be some things to help guide you there. But just a few specific things about this etude. There are some awkward fingering combinations that we need to keep in mind. For instance, in measure 2, there's an A flat to B flat trill. I would certainly use my bis B flat, my B key, and with the same finger, that little key right underneath it, I'll make that trill a lot easier for you. In measure 3, we have the turn on the E flat in the 16th pattern. So it's really vital that you feel comfortable and secure in that before you attempt it. Obviously, make sure that the D to E flat to G to F feels really good. So what do you do on the turn itself? Well, you start on E flat, then you move to F, back to E flat, back to D, back to E flat. So it's going to take a lot of doing to make that happen within the span of time that's required. However, just keep in the back of your mind, the point of that turn is to accentuate and draw more attention to the E flat in the pattern. So don't slow yourself down with it. Again, learn the pattern underneath and then gain facility with the turn. Listen to what I'm doing. Hopefully it'll help, and if you need a little extra help, just contact me. In measure 5, you just really need to go up to the next note in the key and then back for each one of those quote-unquote trills. They're not really trills. You don't really have enough time to do multiple iterations of the trill. You're just going to slow yourself down and get wound up in the technique. So just one and back, and then the grace pattern each time. Again, just listen to what I'm doing there. In measure 7, you have those trills, and it looks like the trill sign continues through, and you may ask yourself, how do I do a continuous trill? You don't. So the rule of thumb with a trill is you always want a little bit of time where you're hearing the original note, especially if you're moving through a grace pattern immediately afterwards. So, for instance, in measure 7, you need to trill G to A flat until the and of 2. On the and of 2, I want you to hold the G and give yourself time to move the graces, and you can arrive on the A flat on beat 3. Same thing, you're going to trill the A flat to B flat, again using that nice bis key, and you are going to trill until the and of 4, and then you're going to hold the A flat and give yourself time for the grace pattern. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Now, listen as I perform the technical etude. Now, obviously, there's quite a bit of technique in this etude. However, make sure that it never sounds too fast. Your tempo is moderato. Even if you feel like it's going very fast, which you probably will, you need to be as relaxed as you possibly can. Another little tip that I would have for overall musicianship in this is you're playing arpeggios. You as a musician need to start figuring out what these arpeggios are. They're just broken chords. What chord do you have? And then you may want to put a drone on the tonic of that chord, just again to start thinking about tone, to start thinking about richness of sound, intonation, very important. You have a lot of articulations through this line. A lot of people get slowed down by articulations because they're trying to do too much with their tongue. So what I would do first, as much as you can, try to slur through this technique and get really comfortable with a fast airstream throughout. Then I would add in a 2 articulation. Don't think about it being too short to begin with. If it's very, very short when you're practicing slow, which you should with your metronome and slowly build up, then it's going to get too pecky on the other side. So go a little longer than you think you need when you're practicing this slow to begin with. A couple little fingering suggestions. In measure 5, I would definitely use a bis A sharp. Again, just the B with the little key underneath it with the same finger. That's going to make your life a lot easier. And then in measure 11, just a little pointer. So you have the low B. When you're coming off the low B, you immediately have a G sharp. Now you can play the G sharp just by continuing to hold the B key down with your pinky. Trust me, it'll work. You don't have to shift to the G sharp. So that's just something that you can use there to make your life a little easier. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions or you'd like a free lesson with me, just reach out at the contact information at the end of this video. Happy practicing, and best of luck as you improve as a saxophonist and as a musician.